We are witnessing right before our very eyes what may be the single biggest political and financial scandal of our lifetimes, and it's about to get even worse. We now know why every single Democrat in Congress is pro-Ukraine and pro-war. We now know why the Democrat Party is so obsessed with Ukraine and so determined to continue to send billions upon billions of our tax dollars to their government. And the reason behind it is all about to blow the roof off of D.C. You're not going to want to miss this. Meet Sam Bankman-Fried, one of the youngest billionaires in the world. He's the founder of the crypto exchange company known as FTX. FTX came on the scene in 2019, and under Bankman-Fried's leadership, it quickly became a powerhouse in Democrat politics. FTX spent $10 million on Joe Biden's 2020 campaign, and since then, Bankman-Fried has become one of the single biggest contributors to the Democrats, second only to George Soros. According to Fortune magazine, what's more, he had promised to spend far more on Democrats moving forward, predicting in May that he'd fund the Democrats with as much as $1 billion for the 2024 elections. But last week, without warning, FTX suddenly went bankrupt. As part of their planned merger with Binance, the biggest crypto exchange platform, it was discovered during due diligence that FTX had issued a bunch of its own tokens that it valued itself and sold them to one of their biggest shareholders to artificially prop up their market value and make them appear as if they were liquid enough to be an exchange outlet for crypto. In other words, basically FTX appeared to have fabricated equity, literally created counterfeit money to cook the books to make FTX look far more solvent than it actually was. Binance announced that they were backing out of the merger deal. Investors got nervous and made a run on their investments, and FTX was forced to admit they had no money to pay investors back. As Bloomberg is reporting, Bankman-Fried's net worth has imploded. In a single day, he lost 94% of his $16 billion net worth. It's one of the biggest billionaire single-day collapses ever witnessed. Now, of course, he's going to have to file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and he's also now under investigation by both the Department of Justice and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. Now, of course, all of this would be bad enough in of itself. I mean, we have to remember that this is a public figure. This guy, Bankman-Fried, he was touted as like the next J.P. Morgan by that guy, Kramer over at CNBC, Kramer, whatever his name is. They drooled over this guy. We're now finding out that he had family ties to the World Economic Forum. His aunt Linda Fried, an epidemiologist, is a key player in the WEF. But now as investigators are putting together the pieces and digging through the wreckage of FTX's implosion, we're learning that this might have actually been the single biggest money laundering operation ever. As it turns out, we're finding out more and more that FTX appears to have been nothing more than a slush fund for Democrat politicians. But first, if you keep track of this economy, then you're probably already sensing that there are going to be definitely some rough waters ahead. Inflation, new home sales plummeting, new home inventory spiking, right? These are all canaries in the coal mine for the economy. But what if there were a way to hedge yourself against the coming turmoil and not only confidently navigate it, but actually thrive in the midst of it? My good friend Taylor Welch has created a brand new training series designed to help you fortify the number one tool you have against any economic hardship, and that is your righteous mind. And it all comes straight out of the life experiences of one of the greatest leaders in all of world history, Sir Winston Churchill. In the Churchill Mindset series, Taylor masterfully walks you through Churchill's brilliant leadership choices, then distills them into frameworks that you can use to face your biggest challenges. Click on the link below or head on over to welchequities.com/Turley right now to secure your copy of The Amazing Mind of Winston Churchill at their lowest price ever. Again, that's welchequities.com/Turley. An absolutely shocking revelation has emerged from the investigation into FTX. It turns out that FTX had actually, quote, partnered with Ukraine to process donations to their war efforts just days after Biden pledged billions of American tax dollars to the war-torn nation. Back in March of this year, the cryptocurrency news site CoinDesk reported that Ukraine had partnered with FTX and that FTX was, quote, converting crypto contributions to Ukraine's war effort into fiat for deposit at the National Bank of Ukraine, meaning that FTX was converting cryptocurrency into Ukrainian currency, which is the hryvnia. According to Fox News, the partnership involved the Ukrainian Ministry of Digital Transformation, FTX, and a Ukrainian web company called Everstake. A tweet from March 8th of this year from Everstake confirms their relationship with FTX. The Post-Millennial's reporting that on March 16th, just 2 days after the Ukraine FTX partnership was announced, Biden gave an additional $800 million to Ukraine. And of course, as of this month, that has accumulated to an astonishing and frankly unprecedented $60 billion of aid to Ukraine. And so now, with the revelation of the so-called partnership between FTX and the Ukrainian government, the very government that received billions upon billions of American taxpayer funds, the question that is arising is obvious. How much of those taxpayer funds ended up funneled back into FTX, which of course turned around and funneled tens of millions of dollars into Democrat coffers? Here's a nice chart of what's possibly being uncovered here. You got Freed funneling money into the coffers of the Democrats to the tune of tens of millions. That's indisputable. You've got Democrats funneling money, mass billions, to Ukraine. Indisputable. Then you have Ukrainian officials funneling money to FTX in their so-called partnership. Indisputable. And then FTX funnels that money right back into the Democrat coffers. Indisputable. So it appears that we have a mass money laundering scheme where taxpayer funds, which are supposedly paying for weapons and aid and like, are being rerouted and ultimately put back into Democrat politicians' pockets. This is a scandal of magnanimous proportions. Of course, the legacy media is going to do everything they possibly can to cover it up. Nothing to see here. Oh, no. Of course not. It benefits the Democrats, and therefore it's good because the Democrats are good. They're the only ones keeping our democracy alive. That's the way. That's the frame for the media right now. So legacy media won't be any help here. But this is where the new Elon Musk Patriot Twitter is going to shine. So obviously, we're going to be keeping a very close eye on how things develop here. But there's no question, in the fall of FTX, the Democrats just lost their number 2 donor. But in the fallout from its implosion, the Democrats may end up losing a lot more. As always, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. You will definitely want to check out my latest video on NBC News projecting who's going to win control of the House. I think you can guess, and it is definitely good news. So make sure to click on that link, and I'll see you over there. God bless.